Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to the rickshaw ride in Vrindavan. We're almost to Śrī Dāmodara Bihari Mandir. Basically, just now, some politician or member of Congress went to see Banki Bihari, and we were stuck in a, what do you call it? A traffic jam for 1 hour. They completely blocked the road. And we've got one little cute old couple, elderly couple who's going to the doctors. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. So, oh, wow. So, we're going to start now. I don't know if it's appropriate. Sida jao. So, I still have a little tilak on. We were waiting for an hour just at Banki Bihari. Otherwise, we would have started from the new place. But it wasn't meant to be that way. So, by the way, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are doing Parikrama today for Ekadashi. And I thought, what a perfect storm. They blocked the roads completely. Politicians have come through. And all these cameras were everywhere, and microphones and mobile phones, and it just, I don't even know if you can hear me. Sorry. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Radhe, Radhe. So, can you hear me? Radhe, Radhe. So many thousands of people got jammed in one little space, and the whole road blocked up. So, I want to start doing Mangalacharan, but I know my rickshaw is going to stop halfway through, so I might have to cut and then go get into a car and then go from there. But we've got to do this, right? Through thick and thin. Yesterday, unfortunately, we could not serve you properly. That was the main move we did yesterday. And everything gets delayed because everything here is, of course, India time. And that's not an offensive thing to say. All Indians also acknowledge and recognize this. And it's just, go with the flow. So, thank you. I feel like I'm screaming, which I am. I also have to be careful that no monkey comes and steals this phone, because they have a tendency to do that. And they're being trained to accept only fruity, that mango drink, Maza mango drink again. So they forgot for a little while after lockdown, but they're getting right back to it. Okay, so I'm going to start Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan means the auspicious invocation, calling on our gurus, our guardians, our Guru Varga, Rupanuga Guru Varga, Guru Parampara, Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha, Krishna, Srimati Radhika, all of them for their mercy and blessings and for their presence with us today. Before we do that, I forgot to do one thing. Śrīla Gurudev ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Patik Pavan Śrī Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai, Harinam Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. For those of you who want to know, this is one of the best sabji walas, if you can see. Just there, it's kind of close to the Russian building behind ISKCON. We're on the Parikrama Marg right now. I don't know if you can read that. So, yeah, that's where we are. Going to the right here. Maybe I'll just show you what's going on. And Hare Krishna. And endeavor to chant Radhe Radhe. Thank you for the photos. I just saw Dipanshu. He's sending me so many beautiful photos of Radha Raman every single day. Are, kya kare? They decided to stop right there in the intersection and open their doors to get out. Radhe Radhe. Wow, amazing. Amazing. This is like unbelievable. I can't chant Mangalacharan with this kind of stuff going on. They didn't even pull over to the side of the road. They just left people stuck in the middle of traffic. Okay. Chalo, 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 chalo. Hare Krishna. So I figured I can try to show you some stuff as we're going down the road. Unfortunately, I don't like the idea of cutting off the Mangalacharan, but I must begin it. Otherwise, Well, I don't know if you're going to lose interest in this wild ride. I don't have the gimbal, so please forgive me for the wild ride. So he's going to drop me off at the Pure Cow Save a People's car, and then I'm going to drive that back to the place, and then go upstairs, give you darshan of Thakurji, and then we will continue. But I will be doing Mangalacharan with you all along. Okay, so are you ready? That's page 1 of our Gaudiya Giti Gucha. Mangalacharan starting with Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. And I'll just keep giving you the ride, I guess, the view of the ride while we're chanting. Sida sida jao. Kyunki late hai, देर हो जाएगा. आगे तब left. मेरे गाड़ी हैं. So I guess चलो चलो आगे. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sida sida. Ab left. Sida left. No, left यहाँ से. चलो चलो. Just here, मेरे गाड़ी है. Just let him back in, eh? Radhe Radhe. Yeah, open here. चलो. Left. जो 500 मीटर मेरे गाड़ी है. 500. चलो 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 चलो. Jolly karo. Okay, so this guy didn't want to go through because they blocked the road there, but they had blocked the road because of the politicians. So he should be able to get back through. It's not even safe to take a rickshaw out of the inner sanctum anymore. Thoda aur sida. No, 300 meter. 300 meter. मेरे गाड़ी हो जाए. ठीक है. 100 रुपया हो जाएगा. Okay, so he's asking for a little more money. Of course he is. I mean, he had to wait for an hour in traffic. Okay, so that white car up there, that's my car. ये सफेद गाड़ी मेरे गाड़ी है. ये वाला. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, he's turning around. Hare Krishna. Side. Bus. Okay. Yes. Okay, everyone. So, please bear with me for a minute. I wanted to start Mangalacharan, but I knew this would happen. Car's here. Okay. Nope. Sorry. I'm going to put my phone down. Please forgive me. I'll just put it here on the dash. कोई दूसरा चीज? एक और बहुत हैवी है ना. Sorry. ₹100 हमने बोला ठीक है. हरी बोल. बस राधे राधे. Okay. Now, is everyone there? Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. Yes, I've started doing this thing called driving in India. I don't know how this works. So, 4, 3, 2. Hare Krishna. Indians don't wear seatbelts unless there are police people nearby. And the same with motorcycle helmets, quite a lot. Not everybody, but it's quite common. Motorcycle helmets are meant for, I gotta be careful with this and the window open. Motorcycle helmets are also for the police. They're not for the people's safety. Okay, Jai. Okay. So now we will start Mangalacharan. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa ki Namne Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Avdarya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Nārayaṇaṃ Kanshidashan Namami Tridanninam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabjagataika Hriddi Chaitanya Leela Amrita Sarasaram Nārayaṇaṃ Taṃ Satatam Prapadye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swami Nittinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Gaura Preshthaya Bhutale Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Yittinamine Atimartya Charitraya Svashritanancha Paline Jiva Dukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshavanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnanadayine Prabhave Namah Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaurat Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanugabnirudhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padambu Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachirananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Shri Jaganathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatang Surato Pangur Mama Mandamatergati Matsarvasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Śrīmad Ratnagara Singhasanastho Shri Śrī Radha Śrīla Govinda Deva Preshtali Bhi Sevyamanus Smarami Śrīmandra Sarasaram Bhi Vangshivata Tatastitaha Karshanvenusvanairgopir Gopinath Shriyestunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupasvarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Shvadanam Sarvatmas Napanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Harer Nam Harer Nam Harer Namaiva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So now we are going in. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Radhe Radhe Krishna Hare Hare.
I'm going to give them darshan while you set up.
Okay, great.
Don't show them the mess. Don't show them.
I'm not showing them. It's back.
Show them this mess.
But you'll have to flip it around the other way.
Can you?
No, just hit this one.
Do it.
1, 2, wait. Here. Hare Rama. Ready? Rama Hare Hare.
Okay.
Radha Vinobihari Ju.
I don't know what to do there. Look, I brought that out. Look, I tried to set it as. This is our. It's kind of. Yeah. I tried to set it up, but I don't know what I'm doing. Look, it's a mess.
Don't show everybody the mess.
This is not a mess. Here's Radha Vinod. Oh, his.
We're not going to. Wow, that was smart. You did all that?
I did all of it.
A lot.
Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai. So,
All right.
I can't see any comments, just so you know. He's setting up right now.
We're not going to use the speaker.
We're not going to use the speakers.
Or the tampura.
Or the tampura.
Wow. Nice.
So if you could set...
Okay. Radhe Radhe. Oops.
What happened?
Okay. Can anyone still hear? Okay. It wanted to show Thakurji. How about that? 1 second.
Okay, go sit down.
That's a bit wet. Back it up.
All right.
And you know what? Maybe you have to just go in close because...
For today, we'll give you more darshan of Thakurji later, but for today it's going to be like this. You get Gurudev, Radha Damodar there, and Kishori Mohan Prabhu right here.
We're not even going to use this except for this.
You know, it actually sounds okay.
Does it sound okay?
Yeah, you could hear you really nicely.
Okay, Hare Krishna. I don't know about from there though.
Here's this. Should this be plugged in? It's okay?
This is the only one that'll work. You'll have to try to move it closer. But...
Yeah, it's fine. Do you need this?
No.
Well,
Good luck. No, you have to put it up on something.
I got this. You just continue. Do your seva.
Oh, be careful there.
I'll do my seva. You do your seva.
Okay.
Look, we did it.
Jai.
Jai ho. All right.
Jai.
So we'll do Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya.
Close that door.
I think it's on page 23, 32.
I don't know. You know the page numbers. I'm just going to play the Mridanga and sing along with you.
So Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, you did great. Haribol. Okay, so we are starting. You can take this if you want.
But you might need to see their comments.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
I'll get it ready for you.
Okay, so we're starting with Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya.
I can just tell you they liked being outside and seeing Vraj.
Okay, well we're going to do it again and very soon. We've actually been slowly getting things together for the shift, and so we haven't been able to take you out like we wanted.
But we will start getting ready. Oh, Vaishnavi.
Oh, Radhe Radhe.
We will get ready to go out and take you on parikramas. The weather is perfect for that right now, before it gets too hot. So.
Okay. Can you see Gurudev okay? Yes.
But you can't see Śrīla Prabhupada.
Where's Prabhupada?
Can you just put him over there? Yeah, for now.
Okay. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. There we go. Can you see him? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now you can see Śrīla Prabhupada.
Jai.
All right.
One more sip of water. Sorry, it was crazy out there, but maybe it's nice to have a little crazy every once in a while. Like,
everybody was so excited. They were so happy to be out, and they were like, "Yeah!" I think we have to go out really soon.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Within the next few days, we're taking you out.
Damodarā Priya is on.
We're taking you out in the next few days. Haribol Damodarā.
Okay. We didn't tell our neighbors, our new neighbors, that we make noise every day at this time. So the people at Gopinath Bhavan might be used to it. But anyhow, this is our first time, and we don't have the speaker plugged in, so maybe we can get them used to it.
Slowly.
Well, they've got some kind of a gym downstairs where they start with the music and everything early. So
they do pranayam.
Pranayam, yes, okay. Gurudeva Kripa Bindu Diya Kurue Nase Trinate Kayati Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Kurue Nase Trinate Kayati Sakala Sahani Daladiya Ko Nijamare Sriho Niro Sakala Sahani Daladiya Ko Nijamare Srihani Kripa Bindu Diya Kurue Nase Trinate Kayati Kripa Bindu Diya Kurue Nase Trinate Kayati Sakale Soma Korite Shakati Dehonato Jatha Jano Sakale Soma Korite Shakati Dehonato Jatha Jano Tabe to gaiko Harinamo Sukhe Tabe to gaiko Harinamo Sukhe Aparadha Have Hato Guru ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. Now we will call out to Vaishnavas for their mercy. Please forgive us for all the, how do you say? Wildness, and also for not being with you yesterday. That was difficult for me to let you down like that, but anyhow, things happen. So we're happy to be with you. Sorry, our camera angle is not also showing Thakurji tonight. It is a different camera today, a different phone. So tomorrow we will try to be back to normal. Oh, hey Vaishnava Thakur, age 39, by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur. Oh, hey Vaishnava Thakur, Doyar Sagaro, Edase Karuna Kori. Oh, hey Vaishnava Thakur, Doyar Sagaro, Edase Karuna Kori. Diya Pado Chaya, Shodho Heya Mare, Diya Pado Chaya. Now we will call out for the mercy of Śrīla Gosvāmī. Can you all hear me okay? I don't know, like if the drum's too loud or covering, I don't know. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. Shuniyachi Sadhu Mukhe Bole Sarvajan, page 51 by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Shuniyachi Sadhu Mukhe Bole Sarvajan Shri Rupa Kripayo Mile Jugala Charana Shuniyachi Sadhu Mukhe Bole Sarvajan Shri Rupa Kripayo ki jai. For those of you who don't know that ending, Prabhu kripa karo, more doya karo. Prabhu means master, kripa karo means give your mercy, and more means like unto me. Doya karo, doya means mercy also. Doya karo, kripa karo, doya karo. Please give me your mercy, please give me your mercy. In case they didn't understand it in Sanskrit, then you just say it in the other Sanskrit word. You know, like we say sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. 3 times is the charm. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam. 3 times is the charm. So, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 3 times. So in this case, Prabhu Kripa Karo, More Daya Karo, at least 2 times, and then we repeat it. So we're begging for their mercy. Now we're going to call out to Śrī Nityananda Prabhu for his mercy. Page 61 by Śrī Lochan Das Thakur. And for those of you who don't know why we're going in this progression, first we do Mangalacharan, Bandeham Shri Guru, calling all of them, asking for their mercy, and then we approach them specifically, individually. So Shri Guru, then the Vaishnavas, then Rupa Goswami and the 6 Goswamis, or the other 5. And then Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because it's the progression of descending mercy. If we try to go directly to Mahaprabhu, we cannot attain his mercy. We have to go to Nityananda Prabhu. If we try to go directly to him, we also cannot be required to go to the Vaishnavas. But Shastra says, Ado Guru Parashray. First of all, serve Shri Guru. So the Vaishnavas also will not be pleased if one is not serving their Gurudev. All Vaishnavas are Shiksha Gurus, and it is the function of Shiksha Guru to help to increase one's faith in their Diksha Guru. Otherwise, they cannot be considered Shiksha Guru. Srila Bhaktivedānta Gosvāmī Mahārāja was very descript about this point. So, calling on the mercy of all of these personalities in the order of flow. First to Gurudev, then to Vaishnavas, then to Rupa Goswami, our 6 Goswamis, then to Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, then to Mahaprabhu, then to Krishna, because if we want the mercy of Srimati Radhika, we also have to pray to Krishna. Who knows the prayer? Whoever knows that prayer that we chant at Shyamakund, if Krishna were to ever stand in front of you and offer you anything, what prayer should you pray? Srila Gurudev said, this is the prayer you should pray for. First person to write it will get to have lunch in our new house.
They can all have lunch here, so let's give them something else.
Okay, so Sudevi said you can all have lunch here. So, give you something else. Okay, a bowl of fresh rasabari. For those of you who know what rasabari is, then you will understand. It means it's full of ras. Very, very nice sweet fruit, otherwise known as devotee. Ki jai. Oh, wow.
I can't cook for Devaki.
Sudevi says she can't cook for Devaki. Yeah, Devaki, you can
come
come and cook.
Yeah.
For Thakurji.
Yeah.
Jai Shyam Sundar Shikanda Shekara Sneha Simurni Manohara
Radhika Rasikamam Kripanidhe Svapriya Charana Kinkarim Karu.
Jai. So, okay. That is the prayer one should pray to Krishna. If he ever stands in front of you, oh Shyam Sundar, who is wearing a peacock feather on his head, who's smiling ever so slightly, who places a flute to his lips. If you can grant me anything, then I only want this one thing and nothing else. What is that? Please make me a kinkari, a maidservant, at the feet of your dear most beloved. Who is that?
Srimati Radhika Thakurani.
Okay. Now we're going to sing Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani. So, sorry, I wanted to make the point, complete that point. We even pray to Krishna for the mercy of Srimati Radhika. Of course, we can pray to her for the mercy of Krishna, but he's not exactly our goal. Radha Dasyam is our goal. And I will confirm that in the words of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada as described by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. When they were at Radha Kund, At that time, so many of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas saw that people were doing Dandava Parikrama of Govardhan and Radhakund, Shyamakund. And they were very impressed. Wow, look at the dedication they have. He said, yes, it's very wonderful. He said, but their mood is not the same as ours. They are worshipping Radhika because of her connection to Krishna. He said, the only reason we have anything to do with him is because of his connection to her. So the mood of those who are true Rupanugas, in the most complete sense, who are actually serving Sri Rupa, in this world, in sadhak form, Sevasaraka Rupena, and in Siddha form, Siddha Rupena Chatrahi, serving under the guidance of Sri Rupa Manjari, their mood is exclusively towards Srimati Radhika. And their love for Krishna is in essence in reaction to, or in response to, or otherwise known as Tat Bhav, Ichatmika, their response to her love to Krishna, except they don't want to love Krishna themselves, because they know what makes Krishna the most happy. Govinda Sarvasva, Srimati Radhika. Sarvakanti Shiromani, Srimati Radhika. Govinda's everything is Srimati Radhika. She is the crest jewel of all of the consorts of Krishna. She is his complete Shakti. Only she makes him the most happy. Therefore, how to serve? As our Srila Prabhupada writes in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita purport, who pleases Krishna the most? Srimati Radharani. So our mood, our function is how to push Radharani to Krishna. Okay. So now we're going to call to Sri Nityananda Prabhu for his mercy. And we know that by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, here, it is not possible to attain Radha and Krishna without his mercy. So firmly take hold of his lotus feet. Again, it is said, if he is merciful, then one can attain Radha and Krishna in Braj. So firmly hold to Nitai's two lotus feet. And without his mercy, one cannot attain the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is, in essence, the combined form of Sri Radha and Krishna. So without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, you cannot attain the mercy of Radha, Krishna, Jugal. And really that is the goal of the maidservants of Radhika, Jai Jai Radha, Krishna, Jugala Milan. So if we know what the goal is and we know the process, if we endeavor to follow the process, then we have hope for attaining the goal. So now we're going to call out Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani, Lochan Das Thakur. In the tune of Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi What did you say, Sudevi?
I said die.
No, before.
Nothing.
I just saw a maybe stupid question. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, I believe that there is no stupid question. I mean, really, really simple questions, even about something as simple as a sweet, like a simply wonderful, can have deep, deep implications. Generally, only if someone is asking a question which is way out of their adhikar, their qualification, way beyond it, and not really appropriate for themselves. And really, maybe just to try to seem really smart, you know, like, oh, check out this question that I can ask. That might be considered inappropriate. There was once a very young girl, she must have been 10 or 12, and she asked Gurudev a question as he was walking toward the program. Shri Gurudev, how long is Srimati Radhika's braid? And Gurudev turned and said to her, that is not a question. Because it wasn't pariprashna, relevant inquiry. He said, you should sit in our classes and see how the senior Vaishnavas communicate with Gurudev and how Gurudev communicates with them. What kinds of questions they ask and how he responds. And then you will learn how to ask appropriate questions. So sometimes he would say that is not a question. But most of the time, there is, I would say, no bad question. If there is any sincerity behind that question, then it can be considered good. So just remember this point. If one wants to know about the truth, then tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sedaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnananas tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshi means they are knowers, seers, and experiencers of the truth. And the truth is Parabrahma Shri Krishna. That is the truth. Or really, as Mahaprabhu said, Advaigyan Tattva, the supreme non-dual absolute truth, is none other than Braje Brajendra Nandan. Mahaprabhu tells this to Sanatana Gosvāmī. Krishna Surup Vichar Shruno Sanatan Advaigyan Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. That is the son of Nanda Mahārāja Krishna in Vrindavan. That is the truth. So if one wants to know the truth, then they must approach someone who knows the truth. But how to approach? Admitting, first of all, that on my own, I really don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know where I'm going or how to go. I don't know top from bottom, left from right. I'm just speculating. And the fact that I haven't been able to extract myself from this material world since forever, and I must have tried because so much suffering through so many lifetimes would make us make some kind of endeavor. Until now, I have been unable to extract myself by my own efforts. I require some help from outside. So that means praying to Krishna or to God sincerely and awaiting His mercy. His mercy takes form as Sri Guru, or as the pure Vaishnava, or as a real sadhu. And then pranipat means to surrender. That's the word that's given in English. But really it means that I know that I can't do it myself. I'm putting my faith and trust in you that you can help me out of this predicament. And so I'm going to place myself under your care and follow your instruction. So that means to trust them implicitly. You are going to help me, and I trust that you will. This is real. It's a different kind of surrender. It's not like, okay, I give up. It really, Srila Gurudev explained that devotional surrender comes also due to relationship. Relationship means I want to please you. I want to receive something from you, which is help, but I also have affection for you. So I am giving myself to you out of affection, not out of force. Voluntarily, I am placing myself in your care. And I will accept the discipline, the teaching, the instruction, the correction, the affection that you give me. Now this is pranipat. Then pariprashna. Pariprashna means relevant inquiry. We already discussed this before. What is beneficial for my forward progress on the path of devotion? I've come to this point I've come to a T-junction. Now which way do I move? Left or right? I don't know. Please, which way should I go? I haven't told it in a long time, but many, many years ago, we were in Italy, and we were following Lila Purushottam and Krishna Devi, and their car was ahead of us, and we came to a toll booth. They have lots of toll booths in Italy. It's very expensive to drive those highways. So they came, they went through, and we were supposed to be following them. We didn't have their mobile phone number. I don't even think we had a mobile phone with us at the time. This was a long time back. And once they went through, we followed. By the time we went through, we didn't see them anywhere. It was nighttime, and we were supposed to be going to some program late at night. It must have been around 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Anyhow, we got lost, and the way the highways are, they don't have any off-ramps. Not like in America every 10 or 5 minutes. It was like 20 minutes before the next off-ramp. So we ended up going somewhere. We didn't speak the language. We were in our car. We were lost, and we ended up finding a open pizza shop. So we went in there. We had one phone number to their family. We were lost. We didn't know which way to go. We knew that we were supposed to go somewhere, so we had a goal, but we didn't know exactly where the goal was. So we ended up calling their family. Their family ended up calling them. They ended up calling the pizza shop and giving us directions. Very explicit. We are here. This is the name of the street, and this is the name of the other street, and the name of the town is such and such. And so from there, then we received very clear instructions, and we ended up getting to our destination about an hour and a half late. So this is why we need relevant inquiry. I have come to a certain point, but now I don't know which way to go. And if I go any further, I can actually be going further out of the way from where I need to go. So that is why Shastra, Guru Varga, all of our Vaishnavas tell us that we must always be under guidance. If we don't have direct guidance of any Vaishnava, we should be able to have some kind of guidance that we should have access to. Because if we start derailing or going off the road, we can go 1,000 miles the wrong way. And you know what happens, right? If you if you want to go to a particular point, but you've moved your degree maybe 6 degrees or 10 degrees off, right? You get 360 degrees in a circle. Just 10 degrees off, and let's say, who can calculate this? Rudragupta. Let's say you want to go 1,000,000 miles this way, but you're 10 degrees off. So how far away from your destination will you be if you've gone 1,000,000 miles 10 degrees off from your main point, from your main line? This is a very interesting perspective, but this is what happens to those who are not under guidance. So it is essential, the most essential part of bhakti is anugatya, to be under guidance. Without that, we cannot move forward. That's why we are calling out to Gurudev, Vaishnavas, Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, so that we can somehow be adjusted if we start going off. And then, Sevaya. Sevaya is essential. Sevaya means service, means serving that personality, but really, how do you serve them? Does Gurudev really need all of our washing his clothes? Thousands of other people can do the same thing. How do we really truly serve Gurudev? How do we truly serve the Vaishnavas, Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu? By doing that thing which is the most pleasing to them. And really that comes down to accepting their instructions and endeavoring to follow them as they have given them. When they see that we're making that endeavor, this is sevaya. Yes, we're not wasting their time. Gurudev is speaking again and again and again and again. A lot of times the same things. Vacho vegam manasakrodha vegam anya vilashita shunyam trinarapi sunichena tattena kampam susunikshamana. One after another, again and again and again. And then what did he say? He said, please take my time and my life seriously. I was happily doing bhajan in Vrindavan, my sadhan bhajan. Gurudev said in Australia, Wollongong, he said, I don't need you to make my bhajan successful. I've come here for you to help you. So please take my time, take my life seriously. So how do we serve him? By taking his time and life seriously. Gurudev said, please, what was that? Be merciful to me and become happy. Chant your Harinam. So his nature is to be compassionate, but we can also be compassionate to him by becoming happy and following his instruction to chant our Harinam, to chant our mantras. By serving Gurudev, by following his instructions, by endeavoring to do those things which are beneficial for ourselves under his guidance. By that, we will be serving him. So this is the best kind of seva, and from that, all other sevas naturally manifest. But without the endeavor to follow the instruction of Gurudev, then anything else that we do can even be considered independent, even if it's in the name of bhakti. And that's a difficult pill to swallow, but I'll give you a very practical example. When I was going to university, every month, or maybe even more often than that, every week or 2 weeks, we would have a test. Well, sometimes I just didn't want to study for my test, even though I knew I had to. So what would I do? I would clean the kitchen top to bottom and feel very proud of my kitchen cleaning. And then I would clean the bathroom. Then I would clean my room. Then I would do so many other things other than what I should have been doing. And even though they're good things to do, those things weren't beneficial for me to pass the test.
Is that my phone or yours?
It's mine. Oh, it's yours. Let me just turn down the volume.
It's
Ringtone notifications. those activities weren't beneficial for me to pass the test. Actually, I was wasting time doing those things. So if Gurudev has ordered to do one thing, Gurudev would give one story. It was quite, I can't remember it in detail at the moment. I'm sure many of you are familiar. But there are many different kinds of followers or disciples. I believe Pujapad Mahārāja quotes or tells this quite often. But there's one that's like the astrologer. Gurudev will tell something, you should do this. And the astrologer will say, well, right now is not the appropriate time. Astrologically, it's not beneficial, so actually we should wait until this day, because now it's not good. That happened when Gurudev wanted to go to Puri. First he said, bring me back to Govardhan. They said, Gurudev, it's too cold. Well, take me to Navadvip. Gurudev, it's also too cold. Okay. What? Yes. Then he said, Puri. They said, yes. Okay. And Puri was good. Puri was good. The weather was very balanced and was good for maintaining his health as long as it could, and it was also good for all the devotees who were taking care. So Gurudev wanted to go to Puri, and he said, okay, let's go tomorrow. And they said, tomorrow is not an auspicious day. And the devotees who were in the inner circle told us, Gurudev said, the Western devotees, not just the devotees, Western people, they travel any day, any time, to any location, and they arrive at their destination. So I want to be like them. Let's go. So the astrologer will try to superimpose some idea over the desire of Gurudev. Then there's the other one. Gurudev says, I need some water. Bring me some water. So the disciple is thinking, oh, well, lassi is better than water. It's yogurt mixed with sugar, very sweet, maybe a little rose water inside. Instead of water, I'll bring Gurudev lassi. And then he's not aware that Gurudev might have a little cold, and the lassi will make the cold worse. But he's thinking, the lassi is better, so let me do this. Well, he has not followed the desire of Gurudev. He has superimposed his own desire over the desire of Gurudev, thereby neglecting the necessity for Gurudev and giving something else instead. So there are many of these kind of disciples that are described in this analogy or this kind of cute story, showing what we should not be like. When Gurudev requests something, we should endeavor to give Gurudev what Gurudev requests. And so, doing so many other activities, if we're not doing the one that we should be doing, this can also be displeasing to Gurudev. And I've told it on Gurudev's appearance or disappearance, but I'll tell it again. I think it was on his appearance recently. So I was famous for making pineapple upside down cake, and Gurudev wanted to curb my pride with that. So I was in the kitchen in New Braj. The devotees would request me every year, please make this pineapple upside down cake for all of the devotees. I always called it the diet breaker, because so many people would break their diets for that cake, and I was very proud of it. And so I was in the kitchen cooking, and the bhajans had already started. It was a few minutes in. Gurudev had already come out. He was sitting on his asana. I was in the kitchen. The cakes were taking longer to bake because they were big, massive, 6 trays or 8 trays of cake. And from the, just next door, not next door, but on the other side of the bamboo fence, was where the program was being held, and the kitchen was next to it. So I was in the kitchen doing my service. And Gurudev says in the mic, where's Kishori Mohan? I heard my name, Gurudev's voice. I ran out from behind the bamboo fence, wearing my green apron. I'm here, Gurudev, I'm in the kitchen. He said, others can do that service. Your seva is to always be here in kirtan. I was like, ooh. I took off my apron, gave it to the devotee, told him to check the cakes in half an hour. I went and sat down in front of Gurudev to be ready to be utilized in the service that he wanted me to be doing. So here's an example of me doing a service, but that service was not pleasing to Gurudev. If the service that we're doing is not pleasing to Gurudev, then how can it be pleasing to Krishna? Ado Guru Parashray. First of all, serve Gurudev. then Krishna will accept your service. This is the real meaning of Vyas Puja. Pratamam tu Gurum Pujam. Otherwise, everything is fruitless. First of all, serve Gurudev. So this was another practical example of how we can be doing another service, and it's a good service, and it's pleasing to everyone. But if Gurudev is not pleased, then the result will not be favorable. Not for Krishna, not for the Vaishnavas, really. Gurudev said also in this connection, what is more important, to please Gurudev or please all the Vaishnavas? In essence, this was the question. And he answered it himself. This was in the at the time when we were in Birmingham at the Sikh Gurudwara temple there. And Gurudev spoke there. It was around Rath Yatra time. And Gurudev asked this question. And the devotees were a little confused. So he re-asked the question about 3 times. And then he told us, if you try to please everyone, you will fail, guaranteed. It's just not possible to please everyone. He said, but if you please Gurudev, then automatically everything else will be reconciled. Everyone will be satisfied. If you please Gurudev, then Krishna is satisfied. If Krishna is satisfied, then everyone's satisfied. The Vaishnavas will be satisfied. But if you try to please 10 or 20 Vaishnavas here, the other ones won't be pleased. And I see some names here. You may have seen this or understood sometimes, especially when we come together for festivals with our Srila Gurudev. When we go to any location, we would be in Lithuania, then we have a small group of devotees to associate with in a condensed way, or Wales, or Birmingham, or anywhere. When we would go to Gurudev's festivals, all of our friends would come together at one festival at the same time. And as we are spending 10 minutes with this one, or 5 minutes at a time with each one, we weren't able to spend it with those friends. And we were feeling like our heart was being stretched. We're not like Gurudev or Krishna, where we can just glance over everyone and satisfy everyone's heart. We actually have to individually go and hang out. And not have to. We want to. But our capacity is limited. And so as we were associating with this one and this one and this one, that one was like, I thought I was your close friend. But you are. But we'll give you 5 minutes tomorrow. And so this shows the limited capacity of the Baddha Jivas. We're just not able to satisfy and please everyone. It's just not within our capacity. But if our goal, our mood, our aspiration is to please Sri Guru, then automatically everything else will be taken care of and reconciled. And this is proven by the verse in Śrīmad Bhagavatam, Yatataror Mula Nishechanena, Tirkyanti Tatskhandu Bujopashaka Prano Paharat Shaitandriyanam Taiva Sarvahanam Achyutejya. By watering the root of the tree, automatically the entire tree is nourished and satisfied. If you try to go to each and every individual leaf, this is compared to all of the demigods, but that can also be compared to every single person that we try to please in this world, it'll take a long time and will be very difficult. But if you water the root, that is Guru and Krishna, then automatically everything will be taken care of. Same thing with putting food in your mouth, digesting within your stomach, automatically your entire body is nourished. So pratamam tu gurum pujam, first of all, serve Sri Guru, and automatically everything else is reconciled, it is righted, it is taken care of properly. So this I was speaking about in terms of sevaya. What is service to Gurudev is not necessarily what I think I like to do, but what is pleasing to Gurudev. What is for his happiness, for his pleasure, for his benefit. Starting with Guru, Gurudev said, first and foremost, apply this verse, Anyabhilashita Shunyam, at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. And then from there, apply it to Krishna. So what is favorable, what is beneficial, what is pleasing to Guru and Krishna, and then from there, we can progress. We can make progress on the path of devotion. So this lesson for me was extremely powerful, that just because I'm doing something which can be considered bhakti, still what is its foundation? We must apply that definition of bhakti to every activity that we're doing on the path of bhakti. And if that activity that we're doing is not having the right effect, then maybe it might not be bhakti. It might be some kind of sangha siddha bhakti, arop siddha bhakti, but not real bhakti. Because if Gurudev is not pleased, if Krishna is not pleased, then what is it? If it is not beneficial for them. So was my making cakes bhakti if Gurudev wasn't satisfied with me doing that because I wasn't doing my seva, my real seva responsibly? So this is something that Gurudev would say is a barometer, something that we can test and check ourselves. He would say, take your pulse, like an Ayurvedic doctor. Take your pulse. Is this activity that I'm doing, is this seva that I'm doing, is this going to be pleasing to him? Well, we learned another lesson early on. In 1996, the thing to do in between Gurudev's classes was to run from one Vaishnava to the next and hear Harikatha from them. And then, there would be lunch prasadam, of course, but we didn't take any rest. It was quite tiring, but also quite enlivening. It was the first time we heard all of these amazing things. So we would run from one Vaishnava to the next, and they would spend an hour and a half with us, and we were so enlivened and excited. And then, somehow, it ended up being that they would finish their katha after Gurudev would be waiting for the devotees on the asana in the temple. And we would say, oh, Gurudev is starting to give class, he's out there, he's waiting, we should be there for Gurudev. And they'd be like this, not a big deal, no problem. And we were very concerned because we didn't know exactly what was right and what was wrong. We didn't understand proper etiquette or sadachara.
We also didn't want to offend them.
And we didn't want to offend them by getting up in the middle of their Harikatha and leaving to go be with Gurudev. And so we were stuck in a very difficult situation. And so one day we came in late. And Gurudev actually asked the devotees, some of them, who is your guru? Are they your guru or am I your guru? And they joked back, oh, that person is my guru. Gurudev wasn't in the slightest bit humored by that. He what?
He didn't laugh.
He didn't laugh at all. He seemed quite annoyed, actually. And Sudevi and I both saw the way Gurudev was regarding that. We both looked at each other with a knowing glance. We are not going to disappoint our Gurudev like this again. We're not going to go to that last session of Harikatha from the other Vaishnavas if it is going to displease our Gurudev. So we would go to the earlier ones, but not the ones that would cut into the time of our Gurudev, the ones that were displeasing him. And so this was also another very valuable lesson. We may be going to Harikatha, we may be hearing so much, we may be pleasing this other Vaishnava, but our Gurudev is not pleased. Then where is the meaning of Guru Nishtha? And Gurudev taught us this lesson also very valuably. And I thought I should share that with all of you so that we can consider this anya vilashita shunyam in every aspect of our practice of devotion. Otherwise, it might not be acceptable. If it's not acceptable by Gurudev, it's not acceptable by Krishna. If it's not acceptable to Gurudev, it's also not going to be acceptable to those other Vaishnavas who are like Gurudev and our Guru Varga, because Gurudev is the branch that we are dependent on. So you can't jump over your Gurudev, and if you cut your Gurudev out, then you're cutting the branch that you're sitting on. So that's not going to work. We are dependent on that chain of succession of Gurus. Gurudev, Vaishnavas, Nityan, Rup Goswami, our 6 Goswamis, Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If we follow that process, then we can be assured of perfection. what holy place are we next to now? We're in Radha Bihari Mandir.
No, when I said that we will go out in the next few days,
Okay.
they might want to know where we're going. You know, I was thinking you guys can all discuss it.
They can hear you easily.
Yeah, I was thinking of Dhruvatila because that's a place of nishta. It's a place of really strong determination.
In Madhuvan.
And then there are other places within Madhuvan. But I thought that would be really nice because we speak about Guru Nishta, we speak about Nishta in our sadhana and our practice. And I thought maybe we can go there and there's that kund there and we can offer the devotees and something. You can all, if you want.
It's usually one of the very first places our Gurudev would take us on Parikrama, Madhuvan, in Dhruvatila. And then we'd go to Talvan, we'd go to Kumudvan, Kokilvan. So many places we need to go. I think it's going to happen. We've just got a few more days of
We've got some stuff to do.
neatening up, and then we will take you out. Nishta place. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I just finished Nityan Prabhu Bhajan. Today's also Ekadashi here. There were so many people on Parikrama, but today was different than other Ekadashis. For some reason, everyone was dressed up so beautifully.
Isn't it the appearance of Radha Damodara or was that yesterday?
But, like, I don't normally see it like that, but everyone was, like, in beautiful clothing. Hundreds of thousands of people all dressed up beautifully doing Parikrama. It was very amazing to see. So we will sing Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu after we sing this bhajan to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Satyanandan Gaura Hari. Sake Kalaya Gauramudaram. Srila Gurudev said, if you want to please Krishna, if you want to please Srimati Radhika, you also sing this prayer. And if we take into consideration that Satyanandan Gaura Hari, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the combined form of Radha and Krishna, then we can understand how singing this it's like bringing them together. And that is the goal of all of the Palyadasis of Radhika. Page 340 in our treasure trove. And if you do not have one of these, then Jiva Pavana Prabhu, I think he's still there, he's got you covered. Sokhe Kalanu seems like we had a little bit of a, who's that guy? Mr. Mears. He was commenting.
Uh-oh.
Once a devotee wrote us.
Is it one of those bad guys?
Yeah, that's okay. He said I need earplugs. And I was like, why is he listening to it? He could just turn it off.
Don't worry.
But anyhow, so a devotee wrote us.
I can't get online there, so I can't erase
It's
it.
fine.
You guys reward him.
We need to contact Kishori, or should we do it afterward?
After.
Okay. So a devotee wrote us. And he was like, he wrote to me. Maybe for both of us, I don't know. I can't even use the word he wrote. But first he was like, your singing is like vomit. Your singing is like bird excrement. Your singing, it was really like, and we were like, wow. This is a devotee, who's like a senior Vaishnava, and he was writing this stuff into us. And we were like, yes, it's true.
And he said it's nothing compared to Prabhupada.
It was nothing compared to the pure devotees, nothing compared to Prabhupada, nothing compared to the gopis, nothing compared to Radhika. So your singing is like vomit. And we were like, yes, you're right. Thank you for being so honest with us. If we didn't have any friends like you telling us this kind of truth, then we could become extremely egotistical. So thank you for sharing that mood with you. And we look forward to having your association but we were saying, so do you want us to stop singing? Because our Gurudev ordered us to sing, so how do we reconcile this? Although we don't have qualification yet, our Gurudev has ordered us. And then he started trying to tell us something, and then we asked again, so what do you want us to do? Do you want us to disobey the orders of our Gurudev to follow your order? How do you want us to deal with this? And then we reconciled it nicely from there. So despite our disqualification, because really, what is our singing? What is the singing of any Baddha Jiva if it's not with pure devotion? Anyhow, if Gurudev has given the order, then he might be able to, well, he can extract whatever goodness might be in there.
And if there is some sincerity of heart, then of course Krishna will have to hear it. I know Sharanagat this, that, but Gurudev will be pleased. Gurudev said, if you worship a straw in the street, Krishna will hear that. He will hear the sincerity and send you his mercy in the form of Guru in association.
Right. And I asked Gurudev once, what benefit will others get by hearing my singing, my telling them about Krishna? My heart is full of all kinds of anarthas. Lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, and pride. We know that a transcendental personality, if they speak about Krishna because their heart is free from lust and all of these things, then this is the cure for the heart disease of lust, to hear from those persons. But what about someone who's full of all anarthas, and you're telling us to tell people about Krishna and to sing about Krishna? What benefit can anyone else get by hearing my chanting or speaking about Krishna? He said, oh, some Shakti will be there because you are under guidance. And then we realized, it's not about me. It's about endeavoring to follow the order of Guru. And Guru can do anything through any medium if he wants. And so, if we're making that endeavor, and he's accepting that, then something may flow through. It's not about me and what I'm giving. Gurudev said that even for those that he gave the instruction to, that they should start initiating, those who are madhyam, he said they can do. But he said no one should think of themselves that, oh, I am their Guru. And it's the same for any preacher or teacher or kirtaniya or anything. We should not think that I am doing this. He said, rather you should see yourself as a postman. What I have heard, what I have received, I am giving. The postman doesn't have any right to go into the mail to manipulate the message which is being handed down. They have no right to do that.
They take it from the source.
They take it from the source and hand it down. That is what he meant by like a postman. So in the same way, whatever Gurudev has ordered, then the disciple or the aspiring disciple should try to follow. And by that medium, his message can go through. Otherwise, if we try to taint it with our own speculation, our own anything else, then the message might not carry through. So Gurudev has given the order, then we must endeavor to follow the order despite our disqualifications. Like he told us, what you know now, go and preach. Oh, we don't know anything. What you know now, go and preach. So, a little bit here and there. And he even said, they don't know anything and yet they're going everywhere and doing this. So, Gurudev's order, through Gurudev, by his mercy, Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langayate yat kripat maham bande Śrī Gurum Ninatāyanam Paramananda Madhavam. By the mercy of Gurudev, anyone who is even mute, who has no ability to speak, they can speak lofty poetry. And someone who has no ability to walk, who is lame, can easily cross over mountains by the mercy of Gurudev. So we cannot deny Guru and Krishna the possibility of doing anything through anyone if they want to work through them. Like Gurudev said to me directly, you should sit in front of me and be ready so that I can use you for kirtan whenever I like. So that I can use you for kirtan. Now we've seen Gurudev. He would sit there and tell devotees, you stand up and speak. And they would speak. And then Gurudev would adjust it and have them continue speaking. If something was wrong, he would correct it. Otherwise, he would have them speak what he taught them. And sometimes, you could hear it on the recordings, they would cut it off when the other devotees were speaking. They would stop the recording. But Gurudev wanted to make a point through that person. So luckily the cameras, the video cameras, recorded the full thing. Also the interactions are lost. Mm-hmm.
You know, Gurudev would always interrupt, even if it was just a quick thing. Then we see how he's directing and helping all the devotees. You know, like that play one, the drama one. Mm-hmm. You know, if they don't show those things, then they'll just be in our memories. But it's nice.
Like taking Krishna out of context of Vrindavan with all of his associates. What pastimes, what interactions are going on? Well, if you take all the interactions out, then it's just Krishna by himself. And although that's nice, still that's not what he likes. He's performing pastimes with his devotees, and the interaction is the beautiful thing. So Gurudev was acting through so many. He was speaking through so many, doing kirtan through so many. He used to be, he told us, he said, before I was like #1 in Gaudiya Math. Everyone knew of my kirtan. He said, but now I can't do it anymore. His age was over 70. And so he was using Krishna Das, he was using Tamal Krishna Prabhu, he was utilizing Ashram Mahārāja, Sudevi, me, anyone. He was directing, and he would actually direct the kirtan. Now sing the next part. Now switch to the next part, Now wind it up, now finish. He had a whole sign language that we learned to follow. And he would look at Sudevi, whenever she would sing Gaurāṅgira Dutipada, he would look at her and he would just go, sing each line twice. And then he would close his eyes and keep them closed the whole time and just meditate very deeply. So Gurudev would accomplish so many tasks through so many hands. And if we keep ourselves in that mood, that I am the hand of my Gurudev, then what I do will only be, in essence, for his purpose. That is the same as the function of Shakti. Shakti has no separate function other than to serve the purpose of the Shaktiman. That's like my hands, my eyes, my ears, nose, mouth. It's all for serving my purpose. So anything which is of me is for me, in essence. That is how it is for Krishna. And so we should be like that for Gurudev. That all of my desires should be mixed with the desires of Gurudev. There's one bhajan. I think it is Atma Nivedan Tuvapade Kori. Atma Nivedan Tuvapade Kori. All of my desires should be mixed with yours. Meaning my desire should not be separate from yours. Gorumen more atmasat means make me yours. Make me yours. I belong to you. Make me the way you need to make me so that I can serve Radha and Krishna. I don't want to have any separate desire from what you want. This means giving up my mood of selfish independence. So now, as today is Ekadashi, we will sing Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukul. And I believe Jiva Pavana Prabhu already posted it a long time back. It's page 216 in the Bhajan Treasure Trove. You know, what I was just speaking about before, if you read the article, it's in the Harmonist by our Srila Prabhupada. It's called Karunaya Avatirna Kalo. It was originally published in the original Harmonist magazines every month or whenever they would come out, little by little. And they placed it in our Harmonist magazine. It has not been published within ISKCON as of yet, but it was translated for the first time from Hindi, Bengali to English, and then from there it was put in the Harmonist magazines. And it is so powerful. And he's saying that to not preach because you think you're unqualified, this will in essence, in itself, bar you from receiving the mercy that comes from following the order of Mahaprabhu to preach. Wherever you go, whomever you meet, tell them about Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada was explaining in that article that you will gain the qualification and the mercy by endeavoring to do that activity even if you do feel yourself unqualified. But the way he put it was so beautiful, succinct, exact, and just mind-blowing, really. I wish, I desire that you would be able to see that and read that. Are we still going? Sudevi, it froze?
I'm checking.
No, it froze. Oh, maybe it froze here. It's not there.
It did when you were on the rickshaw, freeze a little bit. No, you're fine.
Yeah, this one froze because the internet ran out. But
Yeah.
that one's got excess.
Yes, yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So I can't see anymore here.
Please continue.
So now we'll sing Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. And actually this bhajan, although one line talks about Ekadashi, kind of, the rest of it is about everything that's favorable for bhakti.
Including spinach.
Including spinach. Gaura Priya Shaka Sevane. What is very dear to Gaura, he likes to serve Mahaprasad in the form of spinach. Shak means different kinds of leafy greens. So, Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanayanu Kula. Bhagata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamula. Bhagata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamula. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanayanu Kula. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanayanu Kula. Madhavati Bhakti Janani Jatane Parana Kori. Madhavati Bhakti Janani Jatane Parana Kori. Dadashiti Bhakti Janani Jatane Parana Kori. Dadashiti Bhakti Janani Jatane Parana Kori. Krishna Vasati Vasati Moni Paramaya Dore Kori. Krishna Vasati Vasati Moni Paramaya Dore Kori. Dorayama Jesavasthane Karana Brahmandarange. Dorayama Jesavasthane Karana Brahmandarange. Sesapasthane Heri Koyami Pranam Shri Madhavati Ekadashi ki Jai. I just saw a comment really quickly, and I'm remembering our Srila Gurudev. We were in Fiji, I believe at the home of Jagannath Punja Prabhu, and we were having a small darshan with our Gurudev. And there Gurudev was speaking on the first verse of Upadeshamrita, Vacho Vegam, Manasaguru Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udarpashta Vegam, Etan Vegan Yogashaheta Dhira Sarvam Apimam Kritigim Sasishyat. And as he was speaking, he was telling us how to control the urges of speech, to utilize it in the service of the Lord, how to control the urges of the mind, to utilize it in the service of the Lord, to think about things related to Krishna. So Vacho Vegam, Manasa Vegam, Krodha Vegam. He came to the urges of anger. And then he just looked at us and said, don't be angry. And we're like, what about using it in the service of Krishna? And he gave the examples of Hanuman and Arjuna. And he said, but they are qualified to utilize their anger in the service of Krishna. But you, he was pointing all of us, he said, when you are angry, you will see everything in red, basically through the lenses of anger. And he said at that time, even if any Mahabhagavad Vaishnav comes in front of you, you will also curse at them, and then you will make aparad. He said, so don't be angry. And you are like, wow, what an interesting thing. Because generally we hear that everything can be utilized in the service of Krishna. And of course, anger can be utilized in the service of Krishna, but are we qualified to use it in the service of Krishna? That's the question. What kind of emotions will take over? And anger is one of those things that is very, very difficult to control once it gets riled up. If anyone has ever felt extreme anger, you know that when it just consumes you, it takes over and you just can't. Even if someone comes to you really nicely, like this, you jump at them. It's like this dark cloud comes over you and starts pushing you, really repressing. Many, many years ago, I don't want to get too detailed, but basically our family caught our local guru in the mall with a young lady. He was a sannyasi. And a big conversation ensued in the middle of the mall for 2.5, 3 hours. It was not a conversation. It was quite elevated in voice level. And there was a lot of heavy conversation going on because one of the persons was his god sister, another person was his disciple, and myself and my brother also witnessed. And we were just like, what's going on here? This person was supposed to be our guru, and now this whole thing is going on. Anyway, about 1.5 hours in, I was getting thirsty, I was getting tired. I got some money and I went and bought some water for myself, my brother, and I went to give some water to my mother, who was there, one of the persons having the conversation. And as I went to get the water, give the water to my mother, he looks at me, and it was just with anger and hate on his face. I was, 11, 12 at the time. He's just like, what are you doing here? Like that. And I was like, I'm just giving water. Whoa. You know, I was a kid, and I was just bringing water, and he just, like, and then I saw at that moment, anger completely consumed him. He wasn't able to control that. That was the moment when I realized this person is not able to be my guru because he can't control his anger. Who's qualified to make disciples all over the world? They can control the urges of speech, vacho vegam. They control the urges of the mind, manasa vegam. They can control the urges of anger, krodha vegam. They control the urges of the tongue to want to taste everything, jihva vegam. They control the urge of needing to fill their belly constantly, udara vegam. And they control their sensual and sexual urges, upashta vegam. That person who can control all of these urges, they are qualified to accept disciples all over the world. He was angry because he got caught. Oh, thank you, Janardhan. Yes, he got caught. I mean, it was a pretty heavy time to live through. Let me just tell you, it was a heavy time to live through, especially for kids. I mean, it was the whole ostracized thing and everything. But anyhow, we learned some valuable lessons at that time. And still, from that time, because of the association of my father, we've learned to always endeavor to maintain trying to toe the line of truth, not just trying to please everyone, trying to maintain integrity, especially when it comes to the path of bhakti. So I just want to share that, how that anger completely consumed. And I'm sure many of you have experienced being consumed by anger, as I have myself, where it would completely consume. And anything which comes in the vicinity of the anger aura, it's just like, you blow fire in that direction. And so Gurudev just said, don't be angry. And for some devotees who had a problem with it, you can say a pathological problem with always being angry, Gurudev said, every time you feel anger, just drink some water. And this would cool their anger and also help them to remember Gurudev at that moment. And they did just that. So I had just seen that comment, and so I wanted to share. It's unfortunate that some people cannot, or how do you say, feel that it is their justified duty to go into any, you can say, religious assembly and smash others. Back in the day, one brahmachari told us, he said there was we were going to do a program in a Hindu family's home, and his mood was smash them. And we were like, why? Why? And so he said that, well, they're worshipping demigods and this and that. And we were like, so? Krishna didn't say smash them. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita they're seeking the same thing, but they're worshipping in the wrong way. So instead of smashing, we went and just told the glories of Gopishwar Mahadev. We told the glories like this. And those people were like, we've never heard anything like this before. They were so enchanted, and we just shared what our Gurudev had shared, what Sanatana Gosvāmī had given, the glories of Mahadev in such a way about Gopishwar Mahadev. And even elderly persons who were there were so happy. So instead of breaking it, we just followed Gurudev's example, shared his words, and just channeled it. Yes, continue, but worship in the right way. That form of Mahadev that can grant you entrance into Vrindavan, that can grant you entrance into the service of Radha and Krishna. Vrindavana Varipate Jaya Soma Soma Mole, Sanaka Sanandana Sanatana Nāradevya, Gopishvara Vrajavilasi Unangri Padme Prema Prayacha Nirupadi Namo Namaste. This Gopishwar Mahadev, this form of Mahadev in Vrindavan, who has been blessed by Krishna and the gopis, he is the one who can grant access to Vrindavan. Without first praying to Gopishwar, one cannot enter into Vrindavan proper. And not only that, Vraja Vilasi Namri Padme Prema Prayacha. He can grant, or she, Gopishwar, this form of Mahadev in the form of a gopi, can grant praying to the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna Jugal, who are always performing beautiful pastimes in Vrindavan. Vrajavi lasi unangri padme prema prayacha. So what a way to see when our Gurudev shared this with us, because we also grew up in a way which was not so maybe respectful of every other personality, but how to see these different personalities as servants of Krishna. Instead of being neglectful or rejecting, we respect, but ask, if you can help me in any way to attain my goal, please be merciful to me. What happened?
I burned the buckwheat.
It's okay, a little roasted is good. Just take it out of the pot and don't let it keep burning.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh, I've got some scrubbing to do later.
Hi Krishna.
Okay. So we just sang this Madhava Didi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. And I know we tell it every Ekadashi, but it is important to remember because Ekadashi is not just any ordinary day. Krishna, who was feeling immense compassion upon hearing the desperate cries of those suffering in hell, and also we suffer in hellish-like condition periodically in this material world, from his own form manifested this Ekadashi Devi to give opportunity and benefit. Whoever follows and honors Ekadashi properly can be freed from all of those sins. Can be not just freed, but also can awaken bhakti in their hearts. Madhavati Bhakti Janani. Whoever honors and follows Ekadashi can awaken bhakti in their heart. She gives rise to the birth of bhakti in our hearts. And so although we don't see her physically as a person, we see her as a time period. How amazing is that? This Lord's mercy and compassion has manifested to us in the form of time, to give us an opportunity during that time that whatever we do that is favorable for bhakti will be multiplied thousands of times. And we should avoid anything that is unfavorable for bhakti because that's also multiplied thousands of times. So just don't think about that. Leave it to the side. Focus your energy on what is favorable for bhakti. Jatane palana kori. Very carefully, Gurudev said one should worship Ekadashi just as they would worship Krishna. If Krishna knocked on your door, you would open the door and say, "Come in. I'm sorry, I'm so low, I'm so fallen, I'm inadequate," but we would offer him a seat. We would immediately give him some water. We would give him a place to lie down. After we would give him any fruit or any food, any something. We would try to serve him in the best way we could, especially if you knew he was coming in advance. So Gurudev said, in the same way that we would worship Krishna, very carefully, with great care, attention, love, and affection, we would receive Krishna. In the same way, we should receive that form of his mercy and compassion, Ekadashi Devi. Madhavatiti means the days of the Lord, Madhav, the days of Krishna that manifest in front of us. He said, Gurudev said that Ekadashi is even more merciful than Janmashtami or any other day of the Lord. Janmashtami only comes once a year, but Ekadashi comes once every 2 weeks to give us the opportunity to check our pulse. Gurudev said, like an alarm clock. How much have I endeavored? How much have I developed? How much have I progressed in my devotion, in my bhakti since 2 weeks ago? Since the last time. Srila Gaura Mahārāja actually used to keep a ledger, I've heard. Really, actually, physically writing down and then check from one Ekadashi to the next. Because Madhavati Bhakti Janani, if one honors and serves Ekadashi properly, and that doesn't mean just gorging oneself on all kinds of Ekadashi prasadam until one is so full they just fall asleep. That's not the point of it. Ekadashi is giving us an opportunity to make rapid progress on the path of bhakti. And anyone who has even a slight amount of real greed would take advantage of any opportunity that is presented to them to be able to progress on the path of bhakti. Oh my God, Krishna is coming to me in this form today, very merciful form. Let me make the endeavor to increase my activities in bhakti. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Maturavas, Srimurti Shraddhai Sevan. That means, and these are the 5 that Mahaprabhu has condensed all of the processes of bhakti down to. Sadhu Sangha, associating with the pure devotees of the Lord. Nam Kirtan, chanting the holy names of the Lord and glorifying his forms, qualities, and pastimes. Bhagavat Shravan, hearing Śrīmad Bhagavatam from the lips of that person whose heart is completely free from any inebriety. By hearing from them, this will also awaken bhakti. Maturavas, residing within Mathura Mandal, meaning Vrindavan, or at the feet of any pure Vaishnava who is carrying a Vrindavan within their heart. And Srimurti Shraddhaya Sevan, You can't see them at the moment, but worshiping the deity form of the Lord with love, affection, and faith. So on Ekadashi, doing everything which is favorable for pleasing Krishna. Then this is how this will be favorable for devotion. Birth, awakening of devotion will manifest in our heart. This tendency, this desire to serve Krishna will be increased. And as one is doing that, automatically thousands of all kinds of anarthas, aparads, so many different kinds of inebrities can be dispelled. So there's so many amazing positive benefits for following Ekadashi. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very strongly wanted us to follow Ekadashi. He even instructed his mother. Remember, he was eating dirt and other things like that, sitting there, and Shatimata told him to stop, and he wouldn't stop. He said, I won't stop unless you promise me you will follow Ekadashi. So then she started following Ekadashi. So he had this very strong inclination, even from early on, that one should observe, follow, and worship Ekadashi. And we don't worship Ekadashi with incense and fire and like that. We worship Ekadashi by respecting Ekadashi Devi, that she has come to us in this period of time to give us an opportunity to connect more deeply. One Vaishnava said it's like the covering of the material world has become weak and the access to the transcendental realm has become much easier. In essence, we have an opportunity to move very, very rapidly on the path of devotion. So usually on Ekadashi Day, so many devotees chant a lot more. They do parikramas. They take less prasadam so that they can spend more time in the waking hours. If you take too much, then sleep. So they spend more time endeavoring on the path of devotion. So Devi, can you open the windows a little bit?
I just didn't want to let flies in.
Oh, well, turn the fan on low, please.
Is it the burnt?
Yeah.
Can I open this?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Sorry.
What should we say on every Ekadashi? Yeah, you can say Shyam Sundar Shikandashekar. Can you put it on one?
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Can you turn it off? I think the smoke went up to the ceiling and then...
Hey, don't make an international incident.
No, just switch it off.
I did.
Yeah, sorry about that. I made an international incident. It blew the smoke down from up.
Hey!
Chai. So, on the day of Ekadashi, we have an amazing opportunity. All of the things that our Goswamis have given us, our Śrīla Guru explained, they're being given for a reason. They're not just some random ritual to follow. No, there's so many rituals that people do, and they're exciting and they're beautiful. I noticed how over time in the society that I was born in, new and new rituals were introduced, a lot of which were for making things look more pizzazzy, to increase the... People like rituals, so to increase the income. And for some reason also a lot of devotees, and I'm just making a statement, these days I started doing fire yagyas daily as a regular function, but that's not what our Guru Varga have given us. What our Gurudev has given us. They do fire yagya for opening temples, for marriage ceremonies, for Diksha mantras and things like that as a samskar, but on a daily basis thing. This is not our process. Actually, that is part of the process of Treta Yuga. Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu. In Satya Yuga, the process was meditation on Vishnu. Tretayam Yajato Makai. In Treta Yuga, the process is Yagya. Yajato means Yagya, fire Yagya. Dvapare Paricharyaya. In Dvapara Yuga, the process is worship of the deity in the temple. Kalo Tad Hari Kirtanat. In Kali Yuga, the process is Hari Kirtan. Means glorifying the Lord. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nastiva, 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 Gatiranyata. So that verse is from Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Śrīla Gurudev explained that something is left over from Dvapara Yuga of worshipping the deity in the temple. But even after some time, that will disappear. Even after some time, that will disappear. In this connection, I'm remembering when that temple, Giridhari Gaudiya Math, was first opened. Well, it wasn't exactly open, it was still a big cement structure, but the devotees were so excited. They were so happy, so over the moon that we have a new temple. Okay, take it. He's been calling it. So they were so excited. Krishna Das led this amazing kirtan, and it was like, devotees were jumping so high. Everyone was so happy, and we all afterwards sat down at Gurudev's feet, and we were so excited. We have a new temple. And the first words out of Gurudev's mouth, it's really impressive. He really impressed it within me. Don't be attached to these walls. One day they will crumble. Even one day Thakurji will also disappear. You should only be attached to that place where Harikatha is being spoken by the pure devotee. That was what he said. That's what I remember. I don't have his number.
You told him 9.
I told him 8:30.
Oh, well, it's 7:30 almost.
Yeah, he's okay. But he could just come.
Then he can work. Don't let it go.
No, if you tell him, then next time he does it, just answer it quickly. I'll tell him. Okay? All right. So, where was I?
That it was such an amazing thing when Gurudev said, don't be attached. Thakurji will also.
So Gurudev wasn't attached to the walls of this new temple. But he was telling us in such a way, what is the most important thing? As Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, essential truth, spoken concisely, is true eloquence. Who knows the verse of that? I think Janardhan knows the verse. He made a nice boast of that. So when Gurudev spoke those words are exactly in line with the verse of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Dharma svanushtika pumsan vishvakshena katasuya notpade yadiratin shrama eva hi kevalam. All of the activities that one performs, all of the activities that they do, are only so much hard, useless labor if they do not bring about an attraction or rati for hearing Harikatha, for hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. And our Gurudev took it as far as also speaking about all of the other activities that we're doing in bhakti. If they don't bring about that kind of attraction, and if they're not bringing about that kind of attraction, then we should check what our motivation is, how we are doing what we are doing, and what is its purpose. All of the activities that we do in bhakti should awaken within our hearts an attraction for hearing Harikatha, Vishvakshena Katha. So Gurudev said even worshipping thousands of Shalagram Shilas and chanting lakhs and lakhs of Harinam, if it doesn't bring that about, the attraction for hearing Harikatha from the lips of the pure devotees, then we should understand that there's something wrong in our practice. Because just doing that is not enough. What will bring us greed, lodyam? What will awaken that greed for? Brajabhav, Brajabhaktiras. That greed for serving Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Only one thing. Krishna Bhakti Janmamul Hoy Sadhu Sangha. The root cause of the awakening of Krishna Bhakti in one's heart is the association of his pure devotees. That's the root cause. And it says it right here also. Shuddha Bhakata Charananenu Bhajana Anukul Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Prema Latikaramul. The dust of the feet of the pure devotees. This is favorable for bhajan. It means the practice of bhakti. Bhakata Seva, serving the Vaishnavas. Paramasiddhi, they will bring you to the highest perfection. Prema Latikaramul. They are the root. Serving the Vaishnavas. and taking the dust of their feet. This is the root cause, or the root of the creeper of prema. Bhakti lata or prema lata, same. So by that process, then we can progress. But how do we serve the Vaishnavas? By hearing them. Srila Bhaktivedānta Bharati Mahārāja especially, he said, he would thank us again and again and again for coming to his classes. He said, I'm elderly. There's no other service that I'm capable of doing anymore except for giving, for speaking Harikatha. If you did not come to listen to me, then I would have no service at all. So the fact that you're coming is giving me an opportunity to do some service. So I am completely, he would use like this term, indebted to you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to do some service. By hearing the Vaishnava, by listening to their katha, and by following their instructions, we're able to serve. So all of the activities that we do should be for the purpose of developing attraction for Harikatha. And our Gurudev, when he would tell Harikatha, it would be so sweet, so nectarian. So many, from age of 5 to the age of 85, they would run there and be drinking that nectar and taking notes and relishing. And of course, he was also relishing as he was speaking about Krishna. So much. And sometimes he would hear back and he would also be amazed. And our Srila Prabhupada also, when he would hear his purports, he would be amazed. Why? Why are these personalities amazed by what they have spoken or what they have written? Because they didn't create it.
They're transcendental by medium.
They're transparent, transcendental, transparent by a medium of the transcendental information. And that transcendental information is ever fresh. It's called Shabda Brahma. And so because of that, even when they hear it again, they become amazed. How is it possible? This has come through. Even Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, it has been said that when he would speak, sometimes they'd be taking notes, and then he would say, did you get that? Did you get that? Yes, yes, we got it. He said, good. Otherwise, it would be lost to the world forever. So, it's amazing that so many personalities were able to capture these beautiful teachings. Oh, okay, I was wondering what happened there. Somebody wrote the word provoke. Yeah.
You can erase people there and block them from that.
No. Everything's good. All the devotees are commenting and they're sharing inspiration with each other. So
Okay.
I'm very happy.
Okay.
I think the word, that was used in the Śrīmad Bhagavatam verse. Dharma sunishita pumsham vishvakshena katasya lotpariya yaridatim shvama eva kevalam. Let me just see what it says. The occupational activities a man performs, that's not just a man, it's human life, because it's pumsam. According to his own position, are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. So if you see the second chapter of Secret Truths of the Bhagavatam, it's a series of lectures by our Śrīla Gurudev. The second chapter, our Gurudev speaks about it very clearly, starting with the second verse of Śrīmad Bhagavatam, Dharma Pravajita Kaitava Paramo Nirvatsaranam Satam, speaking about Kaitava Dharma. And then he speaks about this Dharma Sunishita Pumsam, all of the activities that one does. So many things we think are so important because we connect them to Dharma, but it's not necessarily connected to pure Vaishnava Dharma. It might just be duties in this world for humanity, but not for awakening bhakti. So everything our Goswamis have given us are for awakening bhakti. All of the sanskars, everything, all of the impressions that they've given us are for this point and this point alone. So what Srila Gurudev said about what our Goswamis have given us, He said in the Vedas, in the scriptures, so many things, in the Upanishads and Puranas, so many stories and kathas have been told, but some things there might be maybe some juicy gossip, something to attract your mind to those subject matters. He said, but what our Goswamis have extracted, what they have given, we can trust 100%. They have been able to detect what is the pure thing, the essential substance, and they presented that for us to be able to progress on the path of bhakti. Dave, he wants to know if that's an extractor fan or a kettle. Okay. So, Madhavatiti Ekadashi Ki Jai. Now we're going to call out for Krishna. And I think we had a request for Kripayati Adhiradha also. Jaya Jaya Vallabha Rajakumar, page 345 by Śrīla Gosvāmī. All glories to the prince of the cowherds. He is the blue sapphire necklace adorning the breast of Śrī Dāmodara. His limbs are anointed with kumkum, saffron, and camphor. Wow! Kumkum, saffron, and camphor. And his curly hair is bedecked with a peacock feather. The shrill sound of his murli flute shatters the composure of Śrī Dāmodara, and his sidelong glance causes transformations of love to arise in her. He delights Śrī Dāmodara's sakhis with rasa, and he revels in the heart of Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī. Sudevi, can you close the door now? So page 345. Jaya Jaya Vallabha Radha Plane Lal ki jai. Kalayati nayanam dishi dishi balitam. Oh, wait, Kripayati yadi radha first, right? And then we will sing Kor. So Śrī Radha Prarthana, this has been requested. Will you sing it with me? Yeah. Thank you. And that's page 278 in our Bhajan Treasure Trove. 278. Now, we don't know any particular tune for this that has a rhythm, so hopefully some of you may be able to, you've probably heard it before, so you can sing along with us. Maybe I can play it on the harmonium since I'm not using the drum.
Careful with pulling
Okay. Take it.
Just don't play it too loud.
So that's that full prayer by Sri Vittalacharya, Śrī Radha Prarthana. Very powerful prayer, very meditative prayer. And within it is our hope, our goal, our aspiration, and what our own Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja instructed we should do if Krishna were to ever stand in front of you directly and say, what do you want? What can I give you? Then you offer that prayer. Shyam Sundar Shikanda Shekara Smiraha Samurli Manohara Radhika Rasikamam Kripanidhe Swapriya Charanakim Karim Guru. Very powerful. And now we will call out directly to Srimati Radhika in the form of this Kalayati Nayanam Dishi Dishi Balitam. Page 342 by Śrī Ramananda. Kalayati Nayanam Dishi Dishi Balitam. Vrishabhananandani Shrimati Radharani ki. So now we will call out Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Any particular tune, Sudevi?
I can't think of one. Don't play the drum too loud. Just Hare Krishna.
Okay, take it. So we're going to sing. You know, tomorrow is Varaha Dvadashi. Means the appearance of Lord Varaha Dev. And the next day is Nityananda Trayodashi. For some, it so happens that a couple are falling on the same day because of what they call impure time periods. Meaning if the day starts after the time period of the festival, then it's considered impure. The festival should start within the day.